Hey everybody. Man, I'm telling you what, this house is so dark because I don't know why when his parents built this house, she just didn't put a bunch of windows in. Oh, okay. So, as you can see, I am home and I am needing to straighten up the house, but I wanted to come on and just talk to you guys. I found a couple more recovery channels that I want to shout out. And I really, really think you guys will benefit from these channels if you are trying to stay sober and need sober support. So listen up and take notes. All right. Let me make this bed so I can sit on it and talk to you guys. Did you guys see Sonny Rosati commented on my emotional weight loss video, and he said he's proud of me, y'all. And I went downstairs, I stabilized my scale, and it says 213. Now, mind you guys, I started out, real talk, at 224 pounds. And I'm 213 in 10 days. And I have been drinking apple cider vinegar every single day. And eating less quantity, but more quality in my food. Like, here's my apple cider vinegar water. Eating more foods that are like healthy and beneficial for my body, not like pizza and cheeseburgers from McDonald's every day like I used to. And that's what I used to do. So, who would have thought? Who would have thought that a little food prep at the house? Because listen, you guys, I still eat good. I still eat good food. And I still eat a good amount. Like, I'm not starving. You know what I mean? I'm just eating different types of food. Like my salads and my tuna. And I don't know how to explain it to you guys, but I feel like the relationship that I have with food might be changing. And it's all thanks to this book. It's all thanks to Sonny's book and how he's explaining me. Hey, Michelle, I'm drinking apple cider vinegar water. A lot of it. I drink one in the morning and then I drink one in the middle of the day. And it's just a big glass of water, and it's got 2 capfuls of apple cider vinegar in it. And I don't know if it does, but they say it gets your metabolism going and stuff. Yeah, it's supposed to get your metabolism going and help burn fat. So I've been drinking it for like since the beginning of the month. So yeah, anyway. It's good. So I wanted to share with you guys. So I found some channels. If you're in recovery, I want to shout out these channels, and I also want to share a podcast with you guys. So the podcast is called The Addictionary. They are on Spotify, Apple Radio, I think. They're on wherever podcasts are played. And it's this team, it's a duo. It's a guy, his name is Bobby, and he is the dad, and his daughter Megan. And Megan is a freaking, you guys are going to love her. But you've got to go listen. I will link one of the podcasts in the comments of this video. But it's called The Addictionary. Then I also found another channel called here on YouTube. And it's called Sober Talk. Or no. It's called Talk Sober. And they have live streams all the time, you guys, about recovery and about stopping drinking. And this morning I was watching one of their videos, and they were talking about, do we have to stop drinking and using forever? Because I say and using because I'm a recovering drug addict. So, do we have to stay sober forever? And you know, when you think about sobriety in long term like that, like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to drink again. I'm never going to be able to use again. When you think about it like that, it's really a lot. It's overwhelming. and it seems unobtainable. But, you know, the old saying that they say, if you can take it one day at a time, sometimes I have to go 1 hour at a time during the day and just break my time up into days like that. Right. And so their radio or their show on YouTube is so good, guys. Like I said, it's called Talk Sober. And they're two guys, they go live all the time. Their comment section or their channel section, like the comments, is always packed. They've got like 8,000 subscribers, and they talk about, you know, staying sober and what works for them. And this morning he was talking about, you know, he knows he could probably go to the restaurant, and have a glass of wine, and he'd probably be fine. But you know what? Who really wants to test it? Who really wants to throw away, you know, and that's what we have to remind ourselves, that our disease, the disease of addiction, will tell you that right, share. And that's the thing. Our addictions, you guys, will tell us, hey, you can just have one more and nobody will know and you'll be fine. That's what that disease wants. It's I don't even know how to explain it, but it's what it is our old way of thinking creeping in. It's called Talk Sober. And then go listen to this podcast on any podcast player, The Addictionary. Hey, Michelle, what's wrong, girl? So, you know, it can be overwhelming whenever when we're thinking about staying sober for the rest of our lives. You know, for me, it's not. It's not overwhelming for me because I'll tell you this, guys. I want to be sober now. Now, when I first got clean and sober, I still had I didn't have reservations, but I don't know what they were. But I still had lurking notions. Okay, I still had thoughts about using sometimes. So when I first got sober, those thoughts would come in about still going out and letting loose and, you know, letting my hair down and partying. And for me, you guys, it wasn't oh, I just went out and had some wine, or oh, let's just sit here and have some friends over and get drunk, right? It wasn't like that. It was for me, letting my hair down was shooting a 0.5 gram of methamphetamine into my veins and literally losing my mind because I would be up for 12 days. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's I guess because I was so fucking sick in my addiction, I don't want to go back to that. And I know that I can't even go and dabble. I can't even take a Xanax to relax. I can't even drink a little glass of wine. Because what happens to me? Hey, Rose, really? And you know what? I know I can totally understand how that could be a trigger, because when we go, everybody's kicking it, having a good time, drinking, smoking, the whole place smells like pot. But you know what? They might be having a good time because they don't have the disease of addiction. But those of us who are in that concert who have the disease of addiction, oh yeah, we're going to start having a good time. And then the next thing you know, we're arrested because we done fucking tried to fight everybody up in the concert. At least that was my experience. Here's an impromptu story time, you guys. Thanks, Rose, for throwing out that comment about concerts. Because here's an impromptu story time live. So, remember LD, the guy I dated for 7 years that would beat my ass every day? Well, about 3.5 years into our relationship, we went to this concert in Little Rock, Arkansas it was Kid Rock. It was Kid Rock and Nickelback, okay? And this was probably the year 2004, 2003, okay? So, you know, they were fucking popular back then. Kid Rock was killing it, and it was Arkansas, and we all loved Kid Rock down here in the South, you know? So, me, him, and my friend Angela drove up to Little Rock because we were from Hot Springs, and went to this concert. And let me tell you guys how this happened. So we smoked joints all the way up there. Did a little bit of dope all the way up there, and then when we got there, we got our tickets, and I thought, oh, this is gonna be great. Everything's gonna be so much fun. And then LD wanted to get in line to get some beer. So we got in line to get some beer, you guys. And I kid you not, LD was so fucked up. There was this guy standing in front of us, shaved bald head, kind of looked like Badass from Kickin' Addiction, okay? Stone cold Steve Austin looking motherfucker. Huge. And LD picks a fight with him in the middle of the damn beer line. This dude whooped the dog shit out of LD. And LD got taken to jail. So I had to go and sit in that concert with my friend Angela and cry until it was over. And then I had to drive to Roosevelt Avenue here in Little Rock, which is the hood, to go pick his ass up out of jail. Worst experience of my life. Ruined the concert. Couldn't have any fun. Too busy worrying about his ass. He got his ass handed to him by the stone cold Steve Austin looking dude. So, but while he's in jail, listen, while he's in the junk tank, because they wouldn't let me get him until 3 o'clock in the morning, me and Angela went to go up there, and they're like, oh, man, we're sorry, you can't get him until 3 o'clock. And I was like, fuck. And there's this dude standing outside the jail, and he's like, needs a ride. So you know me. I was like, oh, come on, we'll give you a ride. And let me just tell you guys, Roosevelt Avenue in Little Rock, I wouldn't pick my mama up off Roosevelt Avenue. Okay? So, yes. So I let this guy in my car. And he has crack cocaine. So you know me. We're smoking Loken. And we're going all around buying more from these people on Roosevelt Avenue. And then it's about 3 o'clock. It's time to go get LD. I got to go pick up my boyfriend, man. I need you to go. I need you to leave. I need you to get out of my car. This dude was on the floorboard of my car trying to find crumbs of crack. He would not get out of my car. Y'all are going to kill me, but you'll never guess what I had to do to get this dude out of my car. I had to pay this fool $20 to get out of my own car. I was so scared for my damn life. I ain't never been so scared in my whole entire life. And I've been through some shit in my days. So the moral of the story is, do not pick up crackheads off Roosevelt Avenue when your old man's in jail, because then you'll have to pay him to get out of your car. True story, you guys. I had to pay this kid $20 to get out of my car. I was pissed. True story. You know, when I get going on these story times, it makes me remember the stories, because I haven't thought about that in years. Yes, Angela was with me. Yes, and Angela was a twin, you guys. Okay, Angela had a sister, and she was remember I told you guys a story about the twins that stole my rent money and put it down in their cast, and I had to make them strip? That was Angela and her sister. You know, that's them. And I still let these girls kick it with me and took them everywhere with me, even after they robbed me for my rent money. But when you're in your active addiction, you'll do that. You'll keep people around you and with you that really aren't good for you, and they don't give a damn about you. They're just using you because you're doing the same thing. You're just using them. You know, I'm telling you what, though. I was so pissed off, you guys. I mean, I drove this dude around all night. And then when I was like, you've got to get out of my car, he would not. He was stuck. He was stuck. You know how it is when you're stuck off some crack. You're like, he was stuck. He couldn't get out. He was scared to get out. He was cracked out. And I was like, if I give you this $20, will you get the fuck out? And you know, that $20, he's like, hell yeah. So I gave it to him and he got out. So, Then I went and got LD. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. So I got LD. And he, like, when he gets something like that goes down, you guys, I was scared for my life on the way home from Little Rock because he had already, like, one time we were driving in my car when we first met. And he was driving, or he was in the passenger seat. And we got into an argument while I was driving. And he threw my car into an oncoming traffic. And we hit a car head on. So I already knew like that he could kill me and not give a fuck about it. So while we were driving home, I was so scared that he was gonna like beat my ass because he got in jail, you know? But I'm so grateful that I don't live that way anymore. You know what I mean? But these are the things that happen in my active addiction. And those things had to happen. That awful shit had to happen for me to realize that I can't go back to that life anymore. You know what I mean? Like, and if you can think back to the awful shit that happened to you when you were in your active addiction. Hey, it's okay, Rose. I've been there too. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Um, but to protect yourself, because when we're in, listen, you guys, okay, we did some bad stuff, okay? When we're in our active addiction, we do some bad things, but we also are just trying to survive. So imagine, what if you didn't shoot that guy? What do you think would have happened? You might have died, you know? And so you're a survivor, and that's how you have to look at it. Like, you survived your addiction. If you're here on this live stream right now and you survived your addiction, you are a motherfucking soldier, because being out there compared to this life, man, that's a cakewalk living in a regular life. When I was in my active addiction, it was a constant battle. And share, sometimes I think, oh, they're never going to believe this when I tell them. But who else could make up these damn stories? You know what I mean? They're true. Y'all, I swear to you guys. And you can, Rose probably knows because she seems like she knows what I'm talking about. When you're out there and you're on the streets and you're trying to just make it, survive to get your next hit. Okay, like I had a roof over my head because I would go sleep on people's couches, you guys. And I don't even think you understand. Like, I had to pay folks to let me sleep on their couch. I was paying one guy $350 a month just to sleep on his couch. That's crazy. I didn't even have my own room, you know? And when I lost my car and I could no longer like benefit people to take them places, it was even harder because I had to have people take me places. And that's when I met Neil, and he had his own car, and he was like, I'm going to take you away from this place and rescue you, girl. And so he did. But, you know, I'll have to tell you guys about the first time me and Neil really ever like hung out and stuff. It was so sweet. He was just so nice. The nicest guy I've ever met. Treated me like a princess, and here I am, this like girl. You guys, he treated me like a princess, and I was not even close to a princess. I was nothing. I was a junkie. Like, I was a thief. I was a criminal. I was a manipulator, and he saw through that, and he treated me like the person I was. Oh yeah, Carrie, that's, because here's the thing. When we are like in our minds and we're trying to stay sober, it's really hard to bring into our minds with sufficient enough force those memories. Oh, Rost, your woman scent. I love that. Well, that's how me and Neil were. We were from the beginning. You know what, Cher? I should be dead. We get selective amnesia. Yeah, that's because that's what the disease does. It's something in the brain, you guys. I know that we only remember euphoria, like euphoric recall. You know how I was talking to you guys about that? Like, our brains block out the negative stuff a lot of times. That's why it's hard for me. Like, I can't just come on here and go story time. Like, something has to trigger the thought for me to bring up a story time. It's really, seriously, like, if I sit down and I concentrate on thinking about it, I cannot remember. Rose, I was in a coma, girl, for 7 days. And my parents came up to the hospital because they didn't think I was going to make it because all my organs were shutting down. And I remember waking up and my mom was like, "You've been in here for 7 days, Nicole." And the only thing I could think about was getting high. Yeah, because he might have had his problems, but he wasn't down like I was. You know what I mean? He really helped me get my life together. He gave me an arm up. I'm so glad, Michelle, that you're here too, because I know what it's like to not have anybody that understands, and they really can't. They can't even. They can say they understand. They can say they empathize with us, but they don't even know the half of it. And even men compared to women, like Neil, he'll never understand the stuff I went through in my addiction because you know what? He never had to get down like that because he's a dude. Do you know what I'm saying? He never had to do those things because he's a guy. You know, us women, we go through it in our addiction. We do anything we have to do for dope. And at least that's my experience. Mommy, can you come with me to see what level? Exactly. Can you come with me? Come on. Okay, baby. But I'm going to get myself in the shower, you guys. And I'll see you guys. I'm going to do a live later on, probably about 2 o'clock. So I hope you guys will come back and hang out with me. And I love y'all, and I hope y'all have a great, great day. Stay on the right track. If you guys need to talk with me, I just saw somebody. My Instagram, everything is linked in the description. Send me an email. Send me a DM on Instagram if you have Instagram. Whatever social media you have, all mine are listed in the description. Get at me. I will message you right back. I never leave anybody on read, so message me. All right, guys. I love y'all. Have a great day.